Are Seiko about to announce the re-release of a huge icon? Let's get into it! Yes, and welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. Now, as you full well know, I am a huge Seiko fan. I started my watch collecting journey with a Seiko, and I dare say at the end of my watch collecting journey, it's going to be another Seiko. And throughout that journey, I've always tried to grasp at some sort of strategy, some sort of collecting plan to help me try and navigate through, not making huge buying mistakes. But whenever I put a certain watch on my wrist, it always makes me question my other 40 watches. Because when you're after as close to perfection as you can find, I get this sense of realization that I might already own the closest thing to perfection for me. Now, 2026 marks the 30th anniversary of one of the most iconic Seiko references that helped forge the collecting journeys of many a watch collector, almost being a gateway or an opening to, a money pit. So, after 7 years of its discontinuation, which sounds incredible because it feels like it was last year, are we about to see a Seiko reissue, re-release? And what changes can we expect that not only are improvements, but are also necessary to keep those professional high levels high? And also, how much is it going to cost? Are you a legend reborn ready? Let's go. Okay, now FYI, I haven't had any insider knowledge from anyone to do with Seiko. In actual fact, getting any new release info from them is like squeezing orange juice out of an apple. That's a lot of squeezing. The icon I am talking about, obviously many of you have guessed this already, it is the SKX. A watch that was discontinued in 2019, semi-re-released under the Seiko 5 Sports line, taking away the diver's certification, no longer giving it a threaded crown. It became and still is a dive style watch and is sort of the bottom run or entry level when you're looking at purchasing your first Seiko automatic watch, which I'm not really against, as it has brought many a fun time to new watch enthusiasts. But when Seiko released the SKX all the way back in 1996, crikey, I was 15. How old were you? God knows what I was doing back then. I was fully into Oasis, I know that. And drinking Sunny Delight. That reference had an amazing run of 23 years. Seiko just didn't come up with that design straight away. It had been built, cultivated, perfected, and crafted almost over 3 decades to finally giving us a watch case that was not only perfect for divers, but also desk divers. And without this reference, I tell you what, we wouldn't have a lot of things. Firstly, you wouldn't have me. Probably a good thing, but still, I'm not sure I would have got into a Seiko if it wasn't for the SKX. I knew about the 013, and I knew it was slightly smaller, and I thought it would be better on my wrist. So I eventually bought the SKX 013, and here it is on my wrist right now. Just the proportions on my 6.5-inch wrist looked better to me and felt better on my wrist. And FYI, it's currently on a CLOCKWORK Republic strap. If you want to elevate any Seiko you own, this company make premium vulcanized rubber straps with solid stainless steel end links to match all your favorite Seikos. And whether it's your SKX or your 5 Sports, from your Samurais to your Saytonas, this is the first branded straps I would ever go to when owning a Seiko. Check out in the link below because it's the best way to elevate any Seiko.
Could you just click that like button, please? It really helps the channel. Thank you.
Now comes speculation. The fun part. If Seiko are to re-release the SKX sometime this year, they haven't got long, only got about 7 months left, what would it look like and what would they have to do to make it fit their catalogue in 2026? Now, my best affordable Prospex dive watch has to be the Baby Samurai I reviewed a few months ago. Sapphire glass, a great looking case, and a watch that definitely is inspired by Seiko's of old. Now that watch is around the £500 mark, and if Seiko were to bring back the SKX and keep it in the £400 to £500 bracket, people like me would be very happy. First of all, obviously the movement would have to be different from the 7S26. We didn't have any hacking or hand winding to that movement, and the obvious move would give it a 4R35. Well, that is what the 5KX has as its engine, so would Seiko give it a 6R35, which is pretty much just a higher power reserve? What we have been seeing lately is Seiko giving watches a 6R55, which is their new, just below the expensive tier movement. We have a gold rotor and we have a rather snazzy 3-day power reserve. If they use the 6R55, then the price from 400 to 500 will increase, unfortunately. But the huge change we've got to be ready for comes with the dial.
Take two.
Let's see a little more originality, shall we? Now in 2026, all professional dive watches under the Prospex line are ISO 6425 certified. Now with this updated certification, Seiko have had to change a few things around. No longer are their watches water resistant to 200 meters, because under this new rule, the watches have to be 300 meters. Not only that, but they have got to be proven to go 125% of the 300 meters. Means a bit more work on the integrity of gaskets, screws. Any crevices need to be blooming tight. Not only would it have the Prospex logo on it, which a lot of people aren't too sure about, I'm fine with, because I think it's a sign of, you know, it's a winner. Now what gives a lot of the character to the SKX is the day and date. Well, with this ISO certification, no loom markers are allowed to be cut or not shown, which is why you have seen release after release from Seiko changing their 3 o'clock date window to 1 at 4:30. That's not just because they think it's cool, but because they had to do that. If and when a new SKX comes out, I don't think we're going to see a day and date. And if we do see a date, it will be at the 4:30, not the 3 o'clock. Now, if you have a look at the 007 or the 009 and have a look at its seconds hand, you have a loom pip or lollipop on the counterbalance. Now, for it to be ISO certified now, not only does the loom have to be on the end of the seconds hand, but that hand has to go over the minute track. Now, that wouldn't be too much of a change for the 013, as we have loom the right way already. But there are a couple of things that will have to happen if we want to see a new SKX. Obviously, we're not going to want an SKX that doesn't have this ISO rating, because you might as well just get a regular 5 Sports. Seiko do love giving their divers the Dia Shield treatment. It's a thin coating that goes over the stainless steel, making it more scratch resistant. And if the watch has a 6R55, it's most probably going to have that Dia Shield treatment, which isn't a bad thing, but it just means the watch is not going to be as cheap as we wanted it. But at the end of the day, the SKX was a very, very affordable automatic mechanical watch. Bringing it back in 2026 and having a really high price tag on it sort of goes against the whole principle of the watch in the first place. I would rather have a slightly dumbed down movement without the Dia Shield treatment to make it somewhat Seiko affordable. I'd love to know in the comments below, would you like to see an SKX re-release? And do you think having the date in a different position on the dial doesn't make it an SKX anymore? And how much are you willing to pay for this re-release? Or are you happy to celebrate the SKX just having a 5KX? Unfortunately for me, Seiko have got me by the short and curlies, because I will most probably get whatever they come out with. To have started my journey with an SKX, then after 10 years to get a reissue of it, almost feels poetic. The question is, will Seiko do it? If you guys have watched till the end, thank you so much. It means so much to me and this channel and what we do. And if you want to support it any further, we got a Patreon now. See the shows early, blooper reels, behind the scene footage, private group chat, and get your name credited at the end of every show like this wonderful lot. Whoa! But if I've got you here for a few more minutes, and I hope I do, come on, you click this one. I'll tell you what, this is right up your alley, this one. Yeah, I guarantee it. Go on, click it. You'll love it. Cool. I haven't got all day. But looking at this watch, I feel like I have. Anyway, click it. You'll love it. Come on, click it. Click it.